There is no longer any reason to agree with torment. The veil is being lifted right now. The sleepless nights, the baffling delays, the strange illnesses and sudden losses so many have normalized are not just life. They are interference, occult manipulation that thrives in secrecy and confusion. Yet what hides in plain sight can be disarmed in seconds when light moves through you with understanding. Imagine an attack that shatters destinies, collapses finances, and engineers accidents, then imagine that same attack evaporating the moment a simple, sacred act realigns your body, breath, and belief. This is not fantasy, this is spiritual physics. Every day, countless people ingest vibrations, through words, food, agreements, that bind them. Today you will drink something that unbinds you. No more living as prey. No more agreeing with defeat. You are about to discover how an elemental blend, salt, honey, and warm water, transcends its appearance and becomes a weapon of light when carried by intention. Many have been taught that deliverance requires endless rituals, costly oils, and complicated performances. That is a lie meant to keep the soul exhausted. The eternal hides power in the ordinary so the humble may find it. When you take this drink with a steady breath and a clear declaration, you call heavenly authority into motion. Envision this, a drink so pure, so aligned, that as it touches your lips, the hidden networks working against you begin to scatter. Years of inner static quiet. Delays untie. Windows open that you were told did not exist. That is the logic of spiritual war. Applied knowledge shifts outcomes. This is not superstition, this is prophetic action plus energetic coherence. In Eastern wisdom we say chi follows energy follows intention. Witchcraft feeds on fear and fragmentation, it dissolves where presence and purpose are unified. Revelation is therefore dangerous to the enemy because it ends the advantage of secrecy. The moment you prepare this mixture, speak over it, and receive it with faith, you stop being the pursued. You become the pursuer. The table turns. Hear me, this is not another tip. It is a key disguised as a cup. The union of salt, honey, and warm water cancels curses, breaks counterfeit covenants, and silences hostile voices in your field. If you want results that register now, remain with me. By the end, you will know how to end witchcraft operations in seconds with one divine drink. Witchcraft is not random. It is precise, intentional, and parasitic. It feeds on your fear, thrives on your ignorance, multiplies in silence. It is engineered to swap destinies, lock away blessings, and keep you living beneath your design. The clearest sign is stagnation. You work, pray, plan, nothing moves. Invisible cords tighten, doors that should open feel welded shut. Another sign is mental fog and torment, scattered thoughts, disturbed sleep, dreams polluted by pursuit or feeding, mornings heavier than nights. When prayer collapses, attacks intensify. But there is a path of escape already given, so simple the proud miss it, so powerful the pure can wield it. We begin with salt. Salt, ordinary to the eye, extraordinary in its essence. From ancient scriptures to Eastern healing traditions, salt has symbolized preservation, purification, and covenant. It resists decay, preserves what is valuable, and confronts corruption directly. In the unseen realm, when salt is used with clear intention, it declares, "No evil hand may spoil my destiny. No shadow may corrupt my blessings. What is mine is preserved." That is why dark practitioners fear it. Salt interrupts their cycles of erosion and destruction. Where they sow decay, salt speaks permanence. Where they hide in darkness, salt exposes. Just as salt melts ice, so too does it dissolve layers of manipulation woven over your life. Consider this: salt irritates what should not remain. Sprinkle it in the natural, and it penetrates, speak it in the spiritual, and hidden forces cannot stay veiled. In ancient martial practice, students were taught that a handful of earth or salt could blind an opponent, an image of how the simple confounds the strong. When salt enters your spiritual action, it is not seasoning, it is sword. The moment you dissolve it into water, you announce cleansing, exposure, and the collapse of secret assignments against you. Witchcraft thrives on the illusion of complexity. But here, the eternal shows you power hidden in the kitchen. The ordinary transformed into the extraordinary. Take a pinch of salt in your palm. Whisper life into it, then release it into water. The declaration becomes alive, every covenant signed in the dark dissolves. Every hidden chain unravels. My life is purified and preserved. This is more than symbolism, it is vibration. Spoken word, intention, and element combine into force. Many have seen results within hours, nightmares ceasing, quarrels evaporating, strange stagnation loosening. Why? Because purity entered the environment, and impurity cannot coexist. Salt resets atmospheres, it is a tuning fork of holiness. That is why this first ingredient is foundational. Without it, the drink is only water and sweetness. With it, it becomes a blade of light. Do not underestimate it because it appears small. That is the trap. Witchcraft gains ground through ignorance. Once you awaken to salt's hidden resonance, you tear apart one of the enemy's greatest lies, that deliverance requires complexity. No, faith plus prophetic simplicity shakes kingdoms. Salt breaks covenants, cleanses space, and cuts ties you never knew bound you. It transforms your drink into a declaration. Each sip becomes a vow, I am untouchable. I am preserved. My household is covered. Darkness cannot contaminate me. And where the dark mimics, using salt twisted in rituals, you reverse their intent. What was meant to bind becomes the very act that frees. This is why salt must begin the mixture. It is the purifier, the breaker, the foundation stone. Alone, it is potent, combined with honey and warm water, it becomes unstoppable. Where salt dismantles, honey rebuilds. Where salt breaks chains, honey restores joy. And where both join, warm water carries their current into every cell, every layer of your being. That is balance. That is divine symmetry. Prepare yourself, for as we step into the mystery of honey, you will understand why sweetness is as much a weapon as salt's sharpness. Honey, golden, flowing, radiant with life. If salt is the purifier, honey is the restorer. For centuries, cultures have revered honey not only as nourishment but as medicine and symbol. In the sacred texts, a promised land is described as flowing with milk and honey, a picture of fruitfulness, abundance, and joy. In Eastern philosophy, honey resonates with the vibration of harmony, it is nature's alchemy, a distillation of countless blossoms into liquid sweetness. Spiritually, honey is more than taste, it is the embodiment of restoration. Where bitterness has lodged itself in your heart, honey whispers, sweetness returns. Joy is not lost forever. Witchcraft knows how to steal sweetness. It replaces laughter with sighs, hope with disappointment, relationships with sorrow. Many live behind smiles while carrying rivers of bitterness inside. This is no accident, bitterness is the poison of destiny. But honey is heaven's antidote. When you take honey into your prophetic drink, you declare, the poison ends here. My life will taste sweet again. Honey neutralizes venom. Just as in the natural world it can counter toxins, in the spiritual it cancels the venom of curses and envy. It says, what was injected into me shall not define me. Sweetness will replace sorrow, favor will replace failure, peace will replace torment. There is also healing hidden in honey. It soothes wounds, restores tissues, calms inflammation. In the same way, it heals emotional scars, the betrayals, the losses, the disappointments that witchcraft has carved into the soul. Every sip infused with honey becomes a balm over unseen wounds, a declaration that the heart will not remain fractured. Imagine after years of swallowing tears, you now swallow sweetness. That act itself is prophetic. You are not only breaking chains, you are rebuilding the temple of your life with harmony and delight. This is why honey is so despised in dark practice. Where witches spread sorrow, honey installs joy. Where they engineer scarcity, honey invites abundance. Your simple act of mixing honey into salt and water is more than culinary, it is cosmic. You are aligning yourself with the rhythm of restoration. Honey assures that the war is not just about breaking but about filling, not just removing bitterness but overflowing with blessing. Without honey, the battle would end at emptiness. With honey, it ends with joy. Now, pause to reflect. Salt cuts, honey heals. Warfare and restoration, destruction and sweetness, both are needed for true victory. And yet there is one more element, the carrier that allows both to flow into every hidden chamber of your being. Water. But not cold, lifeless water. Warm water, gentle, penetrating, activating. In the next step, you will see why warmth matters and how this final ingredient completes the trinity of transformation. Water, the primal element of life, moving, flowing, purifying. Yet here, not just any water is chosen, but warm water. Warmth is significant. Cold refreshes the surface, but warmth penetrates the core. Warm water softens, opens, and allows entry. Spiritually, it symbolizes release, comfort, and activation. Just as the body relaxes when touched by warmth, so does the soul ease and allow deeper transformation. In many traditions, water has always been the carrier of energy. It holds memory, it reflects intention, it responds to vibration. When you bless water, you alter its structure. When you warm it, you invite it to permeate more deeply. Consider how this completes the trinity. Salt cleanses and breaks, honey restores and sweetens, warm water carries both currents into every hidden place within you. Think of it as balance, warfare, reward, and flow united. When you drink this mixture, you are not just swallowing a natural remedy. You are engaging in a prophetic alignment. Salt declares, I am preserved. Honey declares, I am restored. Warm water declares, the flow of life runs freely again. Together, they form a spiritual chord, three notes vibrating as one song of deliverance. This is why the drink is unstoppable. Each element plays its role, but in unity they become a weapon of light. Every sip becomes a declaration, every swallow a ritual of renewal. And understand this, witches themselves know the power of elements. They twist them, misuse them, seeking to bind. But when you align them with faith and authority, you reverse the current. What was once used to poison is now used to cleanse. What was once sent to weaken is now the very force that strengthens. You use the same channel, the mouth, to break the very curses once sent through food and drink. Think of the dreams many have where they are fed by shadowy figures, consuming things that drain strength, disturb health, block destiny. These are not dreams only, they are witchcraft feeding programs, planting poison in the unseen. But the prophetic drink is reversal. Where they attack with food, you fight back with food. Where they plant poison, you flush it out with salt, honey, and warm water. Every sip is judgment, I vomit every dark seed. I dissolve every hidden covenant. I neutralize every poison. The flow reverses. Darkness fed you chains, you now drink freedom. This act is simple, yet simplicity is its genius. Many expect deliverance to be elaborate, but heaven hides power in the ordinary. Salt, honey, warm water, so common they are overlooked, yet so aligned they break realms of bondage. When combined with faith and declaration, they activate authority. The Eternal whispers through these ingredients, you are not abandoned. The solution is closer than you think. And now, as we move into the practical steps of preparation, you will see how intention turns this mixture from a household drink into a sacred weapon. Now we enter the practical unfolding. The ingredients are simple, but the way you approach them determines the vibration they carry. Begin with a clean glass or cup. Do not overlook this detail, for the vessel represents you. A stained or careless vessel speaks confusion, but a cleansed one announces readiness. As you wash it, declare, as this vessel is purified, so too my life is purified. This is not superstition, it is alignment. Every physical action is mirrored in the unseen when charged with intention. Next, boil water until it is warm enough to drink. Not scalding, not cold, comfortably warm. As the water heats, meditate, as this water rises in warmth, so does my spirit rise against every dark force. No enemy will rest in comfort within me. The water is now not only physical but symbolic, a carrier of your fiery intent. Pour it gently into the clean vessel, feeling that you are filling yourself with clarity and power. Now, add a pinch of salt. Watch it dissolve. Salt does not stay hidden, it spreads, penetrating every drop. Declare boldly, every hidden covenant dissolves now. Every chain melts away. Every unseen enemy is exposed and destroyed. Stir slowly, letting the symbolism anchor in your spirit. Then, add a spoon of honey. As sweetness spreads through the water, declare, my life will taste sweet again. Where bitterness was planted, joy is restored. Where sorrow lingered, peace now reigns. This drink carries healing, victory, and restoration. Hold the cup in your hands. Feel its warmth, its simplicity, its potential. Speak over it, as I drink, let every witchcraft operation die in seconds. Let every curse scatter. Let my body, soul, and destiny be cleansed and restored. Your words ignite the elements. Your faith charges the molecules. The ordinary becomes extraordinary because your voice has marked it. Drink slowly, prayerfully. Do not rush. Feel warmth move through you not only physically but spiritually, chains breaking, poisons leaving, shadows scattering. When you finish, clap your hands 3 times and declare, it is done. Witchcraft is dead in my life. My destiny is free. This seals the act. In ancient traditions, sound always anchored spirit into matter, the clap, the chant, the shout. Here, your clap is thunder in the unseen. Do not underestimate the simplicity. Too many miss their freedom because they expect complexity. But the eternal delights in humbling the proud through what seems small. Salt, honey, warm water, when mixed with faith, they are no longer ingredients. They are weapons. And you have wielded them. Reflect now on what you have just enacted. For too long, many have walked as if powerless, convinced that witchcraft holds the final say in their lives. But the truth is inverted, the power has always been in your hands. The Eternal never left you without provision. Every ordinary item in your environment, when revealed through wisdom, becomes extraordinary. This drink is proof that simplicity dismantles complexity. Salt, honey, warm water, when aligned with faith, collapse the machinery of darkness in seconds. Think of the years you may have endured silent attacks, strange illnesses, sudden losses, mysterious stagnation. Perhaps you asked yourself, why me? The answer is clear now, witchcraft interference. But understand this too, the moment light enters, witchcraft dies. It cannot withstand exposure. This is not merely about ingredients. It is about awakening authority. The act of drinking is symbolic of swallowing victory, ingesting courage, digesting freedom. It is about remembering, you are not the victim, you are the victor. Fear feeds witchcraft, boldness starves it. When you drink with trembling, you remain prey. When you drink with authority, you become predator. Witchcraft has no defense against boldness aligned with truth. In the Shaolin tradition, the monk does not strike harder than the enemy, he strikes with presence, precision, and unshakable certainty. So too here, you are not throwing random blows, you are wielding a weapon tuned to the frequency of heaven. As you take this act, imagine bitterness dissolving, sweetness rising, and flow returning. Imagine barriers that held for years crumbling like walls of sand. Let each sip remind you, I carry the right to reject darkness. I carry the authority to command freedom. The drink is not the source of power, it is the trigger. The source is the Spirit moving through your faith. Just as water flows into every hidden crevice, so does divine fire flow into every hidden wound. Witchcraft cannot remain where joy, purity, and authority unite. Ask yourself, which areas of life have tasted bitter? Finances? Relationships? Health? With this act, bitterness yields to sweetness. Stagnation yields to flow. Sickness yields to healing. This is the mystery: salt cleanses the past, honey secures the future, warm water carries both through the present. You are now aligned. You are now restored. This is the alchemy of heaven disguised in simplicity. The reason this act carries such potency is not only the ingredients but the decision to act. Many pray without moving, and many move without prayer. Both fall short. True victory arises when faith and prophetic action merge. This is the hidden law across wisdom traditions: intention plus embodiment equals transformation. In Buddhist practice, chanting must be lived in conduct. In Taoist flow, breath must be followed by action. In Christian scripture, faith without works is dead. Here the works are simple: a drink, a declaration, but the simplicity hides immense depth. Witchcraft thrives on ignorance. The less you know, the freer it moves. The more you awaken, the weaker it becomes. Knowledge itself is light. And light does not negotiate with darkness, it expels it. Each time you prepare this drink, you remind the unseen that you are not to be played with. Each sip is a decree of dominion. Do not be discouraged if your battle has been long. The longer the resistance, the greater the celebration of release. When chains break after years, the sound of freedom echoes louder. Understand also, this is not merely about you. It is about lineage. Witchcraft often entangles families, binding generations in repeated patterns of failure, sickness, and sorrow. But when you rise and act, you not only free yourself, you send ripples backward and forward in time. Ancestors rejoice, descendants inherit liberty. The drink is small in size, but immense in scope. It reverberates beyond your cup into your bloodline. In this way, your act becomes both shield and seed, a shield against what hunts you, a seed of blessing planted for those who come after. This is why the enemy hates revelation. Too many lives are lost simply because they did not know. But you know now. And once you know, you carry responsibility. Responsibility to act, to persist, to declare. Your mouth becomes a sword. Your words carry fire. Combine them with this prophetic act, and witchcraft has no defense. Each time you declare, witchcraft dies in seconds, you engrave it deeper into your spirit and environment until it becomes reality. So rise from passivity. Do not wait for another ceremony, another long ritual, another intercessor. You have the authority now. You have the elements now. You have the revelation now. Act boldly, and you will watch the chains dissolve before your eyes. This is how simplicity humiliates complexity, how light humbles darkness, how one divine drink dismantles decades of torment. Now let us move deeper into declaration, for words are not mere sound, they are vibration, frequency, energy clothed in breath. The universe itself was spoken into being. In the same way, your words shape your atmosphere. When you prepare the prophetic drink, do not remain silent. Let your voice charge it with power. Say, every poison fed to me in dreams, I release it now. Every curse sent against me, I dissolve it instantly. Every hidden covenant written in shadows, I break it with light. Speak these things aloud. Why? Because silence leaves space for confusion, but speech creates form. Do not whisper timidly. Speak as one who knows authority. In martial discipline, the shout, ki, is not for noise but for focus, for spirit condensed into sound. Your declarations are the same. As salt purifies, speak, my life is purified. As honey restores, speak, my destiny is restored. As warm water flows, speak, blessings flow into my life unhindered. You are not begging, you are decreeing. What you decree on earth resonates in heaven. The unseen recognizes authority, not hesitation. Lay your hand upon your chest and continue. Every hidden arrow of witchcraft lodged in my body, come out now. Every sickness sponsored in darkness, die in seconds. Every delay, every closed door, I command you, open by fire. These words are not imagination. They are keys, unlocking what was locked, untying what was bound. Feel power rising as you speak. The more you declare, the more your environment bends to the sound of your faith. Then, lift the cup before you and pray, I charge this drink with divine fire. As I drink, let every seed of darkness be burned out. Let every curse dissolve. Let my body, mind, and destiny be filled with victory. Drink slowly, deliberately. With each sip, imagine chains snapping, poisons leaving, heaviness lifting. See yourself clothed in light, shielded in preservation, crowned with restoration. Between sip and declaration, something shifts, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, the victim becomes the warrior. When the cup is empty, seal the act with sound. Clap your hands 3 times and shout, it is done. Witchcraft dies in seconds, and I walk in freedom. This sound reverberates. It echoes like thunder across unseen landscapes. It tells every hidden force the covenant is broken, the war is ended, the tables have turned. Do not doubt the effect. Your body may feel warmth, your spirit may feel release, these are signs of victory. Hold fast to them. You have enacted a mystery of simplicity with eternal consequences. Pause and reflect on this mystery. For years, you may have believed freedom would only come through struggle, through endless fasting, through costly ceremonies. Yet here, with 3 simple elements, salt, honey, warm water, you have touched a power that shatters witchcraft instantly. This is the way of divine wisdom, to hide strength in what appears weak, to conceal weapons in what seems ordinary, so that the humble may overcome what terrifies the mighty. Simplicity is the camouflage of eternity. The enemy laughs when you search for complexity, but trembles when you awaken to the simple. Understand, the battle is not merely about drinking, it is about consciousness. When you take the drink with revelation, you awaken to your authority. When you awaken, witchcraft loses its anchor. Darkness thrives on fear, but fear dissolves where knowledge abides. Now you know. And once you know, you cannot unknow. From this day, the way you see life changes. No longer will you interpret stagnation as bad luck. No longer will you accept strange losses as coincidence. You will call them what they are, attacks. And more importantly, you will counter them with confidence. Remember also, the act is personal, but its power is communal. Share the revelation. Someone you love may be bound by torment, thinking they are alone. But the truth you carry could be their key. When you reveal what you now know, you become a torchbearer, scattering darkness for others. Knowledge is light, and light is never meant to be hidden. As you share, you weaken the grip of witchcraft on families, on communities, even on nations. This is why the adversary tries to silence you, because your voice multiplies victory. And yet, never forget that faith is the true seal. Without faith, salt remains seasoning, honey remains food, water remains drink. But with faith, they become sword, balm, and flow. Faith transforms the natural into the supernatural. Each time you mix them, do so with expectation. Expect curses to dissolve. Expect sweetness to return. Expect flow where there was blockage. The eternal responds not to ritual alone, but to belief wrapped in action. So, let this act be your reminder, you are not empty-handed. Power is closer than you think. Freedom is simpler than you believed. Every time you lift the cup, you lift your authority. Every time you sip, you silence witchcraft. And as you walk from here, let your anthem be, witchcraft dies in seconds. My life is preserved. My destiny is restored. My sweetness returns. This is not the end, it is the beginning of a life lived in authority, no longer as victim but as victor. Now seal this revelation deep within. What you have received is not superstition, it is prophetic action. Salt, honey, and warm water, 3 ordinary things, become extraordinary when combined with faith and spoken authority. Do not let doubt rob you of what has already been delivered. Witchcraft is fragile once exposed. Ignorance was its only shield. But now, knowledge has entered, light has spoken, and darkness has no refuge left. From this moment, you walk in a new reality. Let this be your decree: I am free. I am healed. I am restored. I am preserved. Repeat it until it becomes your atmosphere. Speak it until your walls, your bed, your very breath vibrate with it. The enemy cannot dwell in a house filled with such sound. Declare it until your environment shifts. Remember, repetition is not weakness, it is reinforcement. Just as hammer strikes again and again until the rock breaks, so too your declarations carve freedom into the fabric of your life. Do not hoard this knowledge. Too many suffer under witchcraft attacks because they simply do not know the way of escape. You know now. Share it. When you share, you weaken the enemy further, for witchcraft thrives on secrecy. Your testimony becomes another's lifeline. Each word you release multiplies light. Do not underestimate your role, you may save someone's destiny by opening your mouth. Be a witness. Be a vessel of freedom. And remain connected to wisdom. Freedom is not a one-time event but a journey of vigilance and alignment. Each day, sharpen your awareness. Each prayer, strengthen your authority. Stay nourished by revelation, for the more you learn, the less the enemy can bind you. Each new truth is another weapon in your arsenal. Each act of faith is another wall of fire built around you. Remember, faith is your shield, knowledge is your sword. Hold both tightly. Now go forth. Live boldly. Fear has no throne in your life. Witchcraft has no claim. You have discovered the secret hidden in simplicity, the weapon disguised as a drink. Whenever torment tries to rise, repeat the act, renew the declaration, and watch it fall again. This is your inheritance, freedom, restoration, flow. Let it be your anthem: witchcraft dies in seconds. My life is preserved. My destiny is restored. My sweetness returns. Walk in it. Live in it. Share it.